Hello everyone, I'm Chef Steve and welcome to Steve Cooks Stuff. Really excited to get some delicious dishes going for you today. Today we're going to be having Eggs Benedict with some bacon, some avocado, some tomato, and a yummy Hollandaise sauce. I'm going to show you how to literally whip it up in a blender for a quicker Hollandaise version. Also, we're going to have a really quick pasta salad, kind of a Greek-inspired pasta salad with some rainbow rotini, some good veggies, little seasoning. It'll go great on the side with the Eggs Benedict. What I'm going to do first is go ahead and start with the salad because we want to get it mixed and get it in the fridge so it can chill and just get it, all the flavors can kind of blend together while we get the Benedict ready. So I've already cooked and cooled some rainbow rotini noodles. I like the color. This is a very colorful dish. You can use a rotini, you can use penne, you can use a lot of different types of pasta. I like these because I find that the flavors kind of stick on the inside the different curls, once you got everything mixed together and once it sits together. So we've got our rainbow rotini in there. Next is some chopped cucumber. And these are just little wedges. I like this salad all the pieces are kind of bigger chunks, if you will. So when you grab a bite, if it's got cucumber in it, you got cucumber. If you grab a tomato, I've got some little cherry tomatoes. I just cut them in half. We'll just throw those in there. Next, I've got some carrots. These are baby carrots, and I cut them in half, and then I just diced them right down. So they're just little kind of, half a dime size carrot slices. We put some of those in there. It's a very crunchy, vibrant salad that we're making here today. So we've got our cucumber, our tomato, our carrots, put a little bit of red onion in there. Don't want to overwhelm it with that. Then we've got some chopped spinach. So this is just fresh spinach washed and chopped. I like putting it in there, especially because when we add the balsamic and the olive oil and the wetness of the salad, it'll kind of just wilt it slightly, but you'll still definitely get that spinach texture going. Almost lastly, I've got Kalamata olives. These are my favorite type of olives. These are just right out of the jar. I'm leaving them whole. Sometimes you have them, sometimes you can buy them different ways. Again, I like this salad to have every bite. If you're biting into something, you're biting into it. So these are Kalamata olives. There's a tiny bit of juice that I intentionally left in the bottom there just to kind of get some of that flavor going. All right, we've got all those going. Now we're going to add some of our seasonings. This is the Kinder's lemon butter garlic seasoning. I like adding this in definitely in a lot of, it works well with a lot of things, but I definitely use it a lot in my vegetable dishes. And then their blend, which is the salt, pepper, and garlic. We're going to add a little bit of fresh thyme, a little bit of parsley, the juice of half of a lemon. We'll squeeze that in there. Perfect. This is really coming together and looking delicious. So now I want to start with just a splash of my balsamic. This would be the equivalent of maybe a teaspoon. You don't really want to overpower it too much with that. It's very potent, very pungent. Stir that around. It's smelling really good. And then some olive oil. Same thing, maybe a tablespoon of olive oil to a teaspoon of balsamic. And you can also, depending on the amount of all the ingredients that you're using, you can gauge it as you go. You don't want it to you don't want a pool of liquid in the bottom of your bowl, that's for sure. Okay, that's about it. Last but not least, we're going to put some crumbled feta. You gotta have crumbled feta in a salad like this, in my opinion. Just love it. It goes so good with all these flavors, all these seasonings, the olives, and everything else. So now I'm just gonna take it from this bowl, put it into a smaller bowl, because this will be the bowl that we'll eat out of later. Just like that. I'm gonna move this over into the fridge, start it chilling. I'm gonna reset, I'm gonna show you how to make some Benedict. Be right back. All right, welcome back. We've got our pasta salad chilling in the fridge. I've got everything set up. I'm going to show you how to pull together a quick Eggs Benedict, a delicious quick Egg Benedict. And I'll just tell you this, it took longer to kind of get everything set than it is to pull this thing off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to poach some eggs. I'm going to make some Hollandaise while the eggs are poaching. And then I'm just going to go right into showing you how this thing all comes together. So what I have here is a pot of water, just lightly salted with just maybe a splash of a white vinegar. I bring it to a boil and then I reduce it down so that there's just tiny little bubbles rising. It's not boiling, it's just hot enough to where it was just rolling, now it's just little bubbles rising. And then what you want to do, there's lots of different techniques to this. I'll preemptively say that. This is the one that's been working for me. So I give it a light swirl. There's a technique called the vortex where people get it going and it goes. I just do a light swirl and then I just drop the kids off at the pool. Here we go. We got 2 eggs. We're going to put the first one in. You can see as I put it, it starts to move. And then the second one goes in. Now at this point I want to start my timer. I'm going to time this for 3 minutes. And they're still swirling, which is good. So they're off and running. Those eggs are poaching. We're going to leave them be. Now over here I've got my blender ready and I've got 3 egg yolks. So I want to start by putting 3 egg yolks in. And then just lightly pulse them. 3-4 times, just like that. Check on my eggs. You know, they'll kind of settle. I like to just keep them moving every few seconds, so that's fine. Then we take the juice from 1/2 of a lemon, squeeze that in there with our yolks. Lid goes back on, we're gonna lightly pulse. Perfect. Okay, so that's already starting to kind of mix together, look good. So over here I have 1/2 stick of butter. And what I want to do is, you don't want to pour it all in, you want to just go in lightly. So I pour a little bit, cover, pulse. Lift the lid, a little bit more, cover, pulse. Lift the lid, cover, pulse. Don't want to forget about my eggs. I can look down in here and see they're poaching. We're getting close to our 3-minute mark. So give this a little more butter. Poach, blend. Last of the butter. Just like that, and then we finish it up. All right, how's our eggs looking? They're looking good. Okay, now before I go back in the pan, I'm gonna add just a little bit of my salt and pepper blend with a little garlic. And then I'm gonna add, for this one, I'm gonna do blackened. The traditional, we'd add some cayenne. I'm gonna go with a little blackened Hollandaise today. See how that works. Now I can look in and see what's happening, but I'm going to go ahead and show you, because what I'm going to do is pour this back in, and you can see as it goes in, we've got a nice, beautiful, creamy Hollandaise sauce. I'm going to put that back on the burner, on low. Let's check on our eggs, as I know we're getting close. Last little stir. 3 minutes has kind of been the number that I've found works. These are looking pretty good. Okay, we're at 3. So now I want to take my slotted spoon, because I don't want to pull up a bunch of the liquid. Lift it up. I can see right there. These are going to be pretty. Put that there. Lift up my second one. Kind of get some of that liquid off. Put that right there. Those look amazing. Okay, now I've got my 2 halves of English muffin here. They are toasted and ready to go. How did I toast them? I toasted them in the pan I used to make my bacon. So what I'm going to do, plate this up with some bacon, tomato, and avocado. And of course, finish it off with our hollandaise sauce. So let's start off with some bacon. We'll just put a couple pieces on the bottom like this. I got 3, so we're gonna go crossways. Push that down. Then we go with a piece of tomato on top. Top of there. A little bit of avocado. Now with the avocado, what I like to do is put it kind of, make like a catch for the eggs, if you will, because these things are gonna wanna slide right off of that tomato. So we do our best to kind of give them a little place to sit in there. All right, so we've got all that going. Now what we wanna do is back to our slotted spoon and very carefully lift our eggs off of this plate, place it on top. Oh, avocado, hold on. Got our second one here, right on top. Oh, avocado, hold on. There we go, we got it. All right, now we're gonna head back over to our hollandaise. It's just been sitting warm. It hasn't broken. Oh, look at this. Anytime you make one of these sauces, the biggest nightmare fear is when it breaks, which means it separates, it looks buttery again, you know, just oily. This, as you can see, is just perfect blackened hollandaise sauce. And I like just give you a flavor to run all around there. Look at that. Come in here, running down, just like that. Finish it off with a tiny bit of thyme for color and flavor. And that right there, my friends, is a blackened Egg Benedict with bacon, tomato, and avocado. Now, if you forget, don't forget, I pulled out this salad earlier, just before we started. This is the one we made. We've got, it's been kind of gelling all together in the fridge. I give it a quick little stir to get everything kind of mixed up the final time, and then I'll just slide this right into here, just like that. Slide this right into here. You can see we've got our tomatoes, cucumbers, feta, olives, all the good stuff, some spinach, everything. So there we go. There's 2 plates of a nice, delicious brunch for you. We've got our Eggs Benedict, and then we've got our Greek-inspired pasta salad with feta cheese and lots of goodies. This has been a lot of fun. I really love sharing these recipes with everyone. I hope that you saw them, maybe learned something, want to try some stuff, you know, get creative, cook, share with your friends and family, eat delicious food. Keep following me at www.stevecookstuff.com. You can find these recipes and more there. Also on social medias on there. And there's a book coming out soon with these recipes and more. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in, for staying with me, and enjoying some good food. Thanks a lot.